For the longest time, it really felt like we were winning the war on car theft. I mean, the numbers just kept dropping year after year. But that's all changed. Suddenly, and I mean dramatically, the trend has completely reversed. In this explainer, we're going to uncover how the very technology that makes our cars so convenient is now making them targets for a whole new breed of high-tech thief.
So first, let's just set the stage here. We're in the middle of what's being called the Great Reversal. After about 30 years of things getting better, car theft is back with a vengeance. And technology, believe it or not, is right at the heart of the problem. Okay, just take a look at this timeline. It really tells the whole story. If you go all the way back to 1991, thefts were at an all-time high, a staggering 1.66 million. Then, for decades, things got better, way better. We see this awesome, steady decline, hitting a low of under 700,000 back in 2014. But here's where it gets scary. Look at that sharp U-turn at the very end. By 2022, we're back over the 1 million mark for the first time since 2008. And yeah, that trend is still climbing. And let's be super clear about the scale we're talking about. Over 1 million vehicles were stolen last year, alone. This isn't just some little blip on the radar. It's a massive, nationwide problem that's costing people and insurance companies billions of dollars.
So what on earth happened? What flipped the script so dramatically? Well, the answer is probably in your pocket right now. It's those keyless entry and push-to-start systems that we all love. They're so convenient, right? But they've also unintentionally created this huge new vulnerability. All right, let's peek inside the criminal's new toolbox. We're going to break down exactly how these high-tech heists actually work. And the methods? They're really clever. And as you're about to see, kind of alarmingly simple to pull off.
So, the most common method these days is called a relay attack. And here's the wild part. Your car is actually most vulnerable when your keys are safely inside your house. That key fob of yours is always emitting this low-power signal, and thieves now have devices that can grab that signal right out of the air, boost it, and use it against you.
Here's the playbook, and it's almost always a two-person job. You've got Thief A, who just strolls up near your front door holding a signal amplifier. Meanwhile, your key fob is just sitting there on the kitchen counter, right? Well, this device grabs that signal, even through the wall. Then it blasts that signal over to Thief B, who's standing right by your car with a transmitter. And to your car, it thinks the key is right there. The doors unlock, the ignition starts, and poof, they're gone. But that's not the only trick up their sleeve. There's also something called OBD port hacking. So first, thieves break into the car the old-fashioned way. But once they're inside, they plug a special tool, which you can easily buy online, by the way, into the car's diagnostic port. In just a few minutes, they can program a blank key fob. They are literally creating a brand new key for your car right on the spot. And look, this isn't just us speculating. David Glawe, the head of the National Insurance Crime Bureau, he confirms it. He says criminals are exploiting these vulnerabilities with, and I'm quoting here, alarming success rates. The experts in the industry, they are sounding the alarm loud and clear. Okay, so we know how they're stealing the cars. Now let's talk about what they're after. Think of this as the thief's shopping list, the specific models, the places, and even the parts that are most at risk right now. It probably won't surprise you that the most stolen vehicles are also some of the most popular cars and trucks on the road, and there's a really simple reason for that. Models like the Honda Accord, the Ford F-150, and the Chevy Silverado, they're huge targets because their popularity creates this massive black market demand for their parts. Now, geographically, this problem is pretty concentrated. California leads the pack by a long shot, with over 200,000 thefts in 2023. Texas and Florida are next in line. Just those three states make up a huge chunk of the national total. But it's not just about the total number of thefts. You have to look at where the problem is growing the fastest. Washington, D.C. saw a jaw-dropping 64% increase in just 1 year. Maryland was right behind them at 63%. So the problem isn't just big. In some places, it is getting bigger and fast. And it's not always about stealing the whole car. A lot of times, thieves are just targeting high-value parts they can strip and sell quickly. We've all heard about catalytic converter theft, right? But tires, airbags, even third-row seats are incredibly popular. A really skilled thief can strip a car of its most valuable parts in just a matter of minutes. Okay, so with all this unsettling news, we finally get to the most important question of all. What can we actually do about it? How in the world do you fight back against a threat that's this sophisticated? Well, the good news is there are powerful ways to fight back. So let's open up the security playbook.
We've got tips for individual car owners and for the dealerships, which has become huge targets for these criminals.
For all you car owners out there, it's really all about creating layers of security. You can totally defeat that relay attack by storing your fob in a signal-blocking Faraday bag. You can block the OBD hacking with a simple port lock. And hey, don't forget the classics. A big, physical steering wheel lock is a fantastic visual deterrent that basically tells a thief, hey, just move on to the next car.
Now, let's talk about auto dealerships. I mean, a car lot is basically an all-you-can-steal buffet for these thieves, so the stakes are way higher. They need a much more robust playbook. Let's take a look at what it takes to fortify that fortress. For dealerships, it has to be a multi-layered strategy. We're talking about securing the entire perimeter, using active 24/7 video monitoring, and having super strict rules about key management. A lot of them are now using GPS trackers with geofencing, which will instantly alert them if a vehicle moves off the lot after hours. That allows for real-time tracking and hopefully a quick recovery. You know, when it comes down to it, your car is basically a powerful computer on wheels. And as we've just seen, the threats have evolved right alongside that technology. So the final question I want to leave you with is this: has your security thinking evolved with it?